All right. So we're on.
We'll come up with a goddamn name, and we'll come up with a...
It's not.
I think
It's not the Four Horsemen. Because
Welcome to the Four Horsemen.
Not the name because
all right.
we are
There.
all married men.
Yeah,
And
we
there's only
are.
3 of us. There's a lot of problems with that name, and I feel like that's too generic of a name.
Yeah, that's why I like the
Also-
Killer Threes.
The Killer 3 is a little inside. I don't know why that's a little inside compared to other names of the possibilities. I'm okay with. I don't know, a more off the wall kind of a name. More, but like I said,
You want to
like I
go
said,
with Off the Wall? That's the name. Off the Wall.
I think no, that's more of a.
Hi, I'm Grant. By the way, I'm Grant.
Oh, are we doing? Oh, we'll go.
Are we doing real names?
Hold on,
Like,
go.
Hi,
wait.
my name's not Grant.
Yeah.
You're the guy in the center. I feel like you should actually start us
Yeah, you.
All right,
yeah.
so
in
let's-
some way. So,
So this is not Grant, and
Not
that's
Grant.
and that's not Julian,
hi.
and I'm sure as shit not Greg.
Yep.
Right.
All right. Now that you got that out the way, we're gonna sit here and talk about the shit we always talk about, and that's some wrestling.
And I'm gonna get this out of the way too. I feel like that this is gonna turn into. I'm just gonna make Julian try to convince me on why I need to start watching wrestling again.
Oh, we the Threebirds.
I
The
once
Threebirds?
had- I once
We're
had-
the Threebirds.
for
Yeah.
6
The
episodes.
Fabulous Threebirds.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's look it up.
Look it up.
The Fabulous Threebirds. That actually,
That's not bad.
shit.
Yeah, that's all right.
Fuck. That came out of nowhere, like
All right.
just off the text.
We're gonna.
Nope.
It's gonna be cool. So
That
instead
is
of
what we are right now.
We are
All
the
right, sweet.
Fabulous
As of
Threebirds.
right now,
Fabulous
we're the Fabulous
Threebirds.
Threebirds.
Heck yeah! So Confederate flag shirt on
No.
its way, guys.
No.
You ready? All right.
All right.
Do you want to do an actual introduction?
Yeah, welcome to the Fabulous Threebirds.
I'm not Grant.
And I'm not Greg.
And I am not Julian.
Are you sure?
No.
Welcome back. We are the Fabulous Threebirds. I'm not Greg.
Man, I am not Grant.
I'm not Julian.
All right. Now
He did it. He did it.
Yeah. That's why I'm shocked. I'm literally shocked because he actually hit it on the mark. So we got a lot to discuss. There's some breaking news. I'm gonna let Julian do it though, but there's some breaking news that happened today. We got Hell in a Cell stuff, we got Dynamite stuff, and we got just some random shit. So, strap on, hold tight. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. All right, give us that breaking news.
Do we have a breaking news sound?
And we do not.
All
I
right.
wish we
Yeah,
did,
don't
though.
watch. I don't know. I, don't,
We need to get one though.
I was just in San Diego, the land of Anchorman. So this feels like Panda Watch, but
Hey,
it's
so
pretty-
was I, man. You have no excuse.
Right. I know we both were, but we weren't anywhere. Yeah, and another. I knew a bunch of people that were there at the same time. Anyhow, no, it's not Panda Watch. Unfortunately, I wish we did have the birth of a beautiful baby panda to report happening at the San Diego Zoo instead of what's really happening, which is Jeff Hardy got arrested for DUI. It's actually felony DUI, which he was swerving, apparently went off the road a little bit, is what the details are. It was around midnight. So, we always want to say, oh, details are coming in. We don't want to make any assumptions on and on and on. Yeah, responsible reporting and all that. But this is not the first or even 10th time that this has happened with this guy. So
Yeah,
this is,
I'm gonna file this, and instead of getting a breaking news theme, we're gonna get the I don't give a fuck theme.
whoa. Right.
Wow.
I mean,
How many more times can we hear about this?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy with him. It's a lot. I mean, you feel bad for the guy, but it's also been going on for 20
Years.
some odd years.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
years.
I feel like his brother has tried to help, his family tried to help, companies have tried to help, and it's just something's not taken.
Yeah. I mean, this happens. We know people that can't get their shit together.
Mm-hmm.
I know of one from my hometown recently that even passed away because he couldn't get his shit together, and so that can really happen. And he definitely seems like he's has, it's not just alcohol for him. It's he's pretty much done every drug under the sun and used to sell all that, and just really has had one headline after the other related to this. And, some people think that the walking out of the match drunk was a work to get him fired from WWE so he can get out of the contract, which is a good theory, but I think it's a little bit more column A, which is he really was drunk probably.
Yeah. And maybe he
Yeah.
didn't care. That could be something.
And didn't care combination. Yeah. And I mean, just, so it wound up being somewhat of a good career move, sort of, I guess, if you really wanted to get out and you couldn't any other way, I guess, short of asking for your release. So anyway, he has court on Tuesday and scheduled for the another multi-man ladder match thing for something on AEW. Hopefully this cancels that entire match so that we can just have maybe a couple people in the ring and not do the same gimmicky multi-man shit over and over again. But I think it's just going to be, they're going to replace him with somebody. I don't know, Johnny Morrison or something.
Can we just be done with Jeff Hardy at this point? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
As wrestling fans, like, can we be done with him? Like, you want to support him. You understand that he clearly has a problem, and we are not making light of the problem that he has. It's a very real thing. But can we actually, as wrestling fans, literally move on? Because maybe if we move on, maybe he will hit rock bottom to work his way up, because it seems as if he has not hit rock bottom yet.
Okay. Yeah.
It seems like he has a number. I mean, when his house got invaded and whatever, he kind of got a slap on the wrist. I thought he was going to go to prison for like years from what the headlines were with that. If you remember that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because they broke down that he had every drug. Like he had a pharmacy and he was definitely like selling it. And it was kind of like the implication there was that he was the big drug dealer in the WWE locker room. It was like he was the guy. Or if not, then he had the best collection or something,
Allegedly.
But allegedly. It's all alleged, but not really, because it really happened. And at what point do you get to not say alleged? I mean, he did get charged. So, it's just happened a lot. The fact that it's a DUI felony, I'm not sure what that means. I mean, is it a felony every time? Like, it's not really a felony every time. It's like if you're third one or something. I don't know. I don't have any.
I have no idea.
I believe there are classification levels to driving under the influence, and I believe the lowest classification is a very high misdemeanor. Right. I could be wrong, but I also believe the next, levels are all felonies. Like, it jumps into, because at that point, go ahead.
Third offense in 10 years. So that, I think, so he's got 3 charges, including DUI. So that's his third and 10. So maybe that's what made it.
Well, I know if you get a DUI and somebody is killed, that's a felony charge. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I think,
blood alcohol test of 0.294 the first time, and then later on it soaked in and went to 0.08. Or I guess, that went down. Yes. So.
Well, that's being at the line. I thought 0.08 is the limit.
Right. So he's got that going for him.
So can you hit the limit, or is it hit the limit or go over that 0.08? Like, if you hit 0.08, do you go, ha ha?
Oh,
I'm on the line.
That's right.
I'm on the line.
Yeah, I guess I have no idea.
That's what I was wondering.
I mean, I'm happy that I don't have any idea, but
right. But who's that guy? You could tell he's a professional.
Oh yeah, he's all proud of it. Like, you almost got me, Copper.
You almost got me. I'm 0.08.
Idiot.
So I don't know all the laws are pertaining to all of that in Florida. I know they might be pretty harsh on them because there's a lot of drunks driving. You have to drive everywhere in Florida, so. Right. I don't know. But he was scheduled for Dynamite on Wednesday, and then Triple Mania in Tijuana. The Hardys were scheduled. By the way, Penta will be facing Blue Demon Jr. So it's a pretty big match. Pretty fun. And but anyway, yeah, the Hardys were gonna have a match against Dragon Lee and Dralistico.
Oh. Say that again.
Dragon Lee and Dralistico.
Dralistico.
Yeah. So anyway, that match might still have. I don't know. It's Tijuana, baby. It's probably gonna go down there. That's not a good idea, man. Jeff Hardy and Tijuana. Oh my god. I don't know, man. Anyway, screw all that. That happened. Moving on. Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
In a Cell.
It happened in my city. I didn't go. I watched it from the comfort of my home.
In Tijuana.
I'm still happy not to have gone. I guess it would have been a hassle, but maybe it would have been worth it to see the main event.
I don't know why that fucking got me, but it did. It was so in Tijuana.
Tornado.
Oh god. I'm sorry.
Got tornado warning going on over here, fellas.
Oh yeah, it's about the storm here, man.
Man, I got a tornado warning.
In Tijuana?
And we're on the second floor.
Tijuana?
Oh, it's just the way he said it. When he said it, I just can't.
Yeah.
It can't get out of my head. Sorry. So here's the deal, because I know what you want to talk about for Hell in a Cell. I know what Grant wants to talk about for Hell in a Cell. Here's the fucking deal. I'll get mine out of the way because mine actually started Hell in a Cell. Remember, last week I sat there and said, I don't give two shits about Bianca Belair and Becky and Asuka's match. And then those ladies came out there, and I'm going to say this, mark it down, take a picture. I don't give a fuck. Becky Lynch fucking impressed me wrestling.
They had maybe the best match of the night.
Yeah. They opened the show, and goddamn it, they gave those ladies like 30 minutes, and all 30 minutes I was watching it. I'm sorry. Like, I will admit when I'm wrong about something. For the first time, I actually looked at Becky and said, good Lord, you're not going through rehearsal. It looked clean. It looked crisp. It was, and I hate when folks say those type of words like clean and crisp, like, but I'm saying it was moving. The match was moving. Every time I used to watch a Becky match, even when she's in there with Charlotte, it seems like she's going through the motions in rehearsal where she's remembering each step to the match, and it slows it all down. This time it moved. Asuka moved. Bianca moved. There were counters that moved. Everything was fast. It was back to back to back to back action for 30 fucking minutes. That's very hard to do.
Yeah. I was never bored that entire match. And I was generally happy. Like, the only thing I was scared about going into that match, and I said it to my wife before it started, is I was like, I'm done with Becky because I don't want them to fuck up Asuka right now. Because I felt like Asuka was the third wheel, even though it was her match.
Right.
And they didn't.
Until the next night. But let's stay on myself.
I just had to double check our Doppler radar to see if this tornado was on top of us. We got tornado. The sirens are actually going off in the neighborhood too. I think we're okay. It's all northwest. Okay, so,
Jesus.
Yeah, it's real pandemonium and outside here right now. So anyway, I think we're good. So yeah, the opening match was great. I thought it was it's another triple threat match that in the last few weeks. So maybe the very obvious complaints of people powdering out for 5 minutes and having these really weird, I don't know, it was like a product of the pandemic style multi-man match or triple threat match where just one of them just dies. And it seemed like a lack of creativity with these things for so long. And Roman sleeping, sort of shit. Yep. And just too many of them, and they were too clunky and too stupid, and they weren't the good tight, like I've said, the Tajiri Super Crazy Guido triple threats. It's just fucking nonstop action.
Right.
Great endings, just exciting endings, and just so much creativity you can have in these endings and different sequences you can do. And yeah, they're spotty, but they also make sense. They're like, one thing into another thing into another thing. It's like these counters into counters, and then you throw the other guy in the other thing, and it gives you that kind of, you can do some John Wick shit in there, And I think that's that's what happened here. It was like you could do some cool shit. And Asuka, man, Asuka brought it, man.
Mm-hmm.
She was snug, and it was just like, yeah, you remember now. You remember like why this chick was like so exciting, and just once the goofy bullshit's like over with and she's in the ring, she's really good. And I like that style and her style, and anyone that does this kind of thing. And I think that she kind of was in the driver's seat of the whole thing because of her style. And it just, I don't know, it's a good mixture. But it's got to be a little more hard hitting when she's in there.
And Bianca adapted. Like, clearly Asuka was in the driver's seat. Bianca adapted beautifully to me. Like, even some of the false finishes, it was like, okay, you could tell that it got to the point where they were playing off each other, and it wasn't okay, I'm gonna do this and then you do that. It was like, all right, let's go. Let's just go. And it worked.
Yep.
It worked. It gave me hope for the rest of the night. Then that quickly went the fuck away. But I'm just at least I had hope.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So I'm just gonna double check what else happened. I forget.
Well, I can tell you that, I mean, I was drinking a little bit, but I can tell you the only match that I skipped was Lashley and Omos.
Yeah.
You lucky man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it live, so I had a little bit,
It was silly. That was the next one after the triple threat and all that. Ezekiel versus Owens wasn't bad.
No, that was fun. And I enjoy that storyline and anything KO does. So
yeah,
just the little things of yelling, like KO yelling that was, like yelling on the pin and shit like that. Like, I like all that.
And then Madcap versus Happy Corbin was not that good.
Could care less about
silly.
that match.
It was silly. Like, Madcap is definitely like being told to fire up in a certain way, and he's really like, he looks really good, and his character change is pretty good for him. Corbin's just Corbin like is kind of extra evil heel right now. He just keeps turning from silly heel to evil heel, and it's just kind of weird and jarring and whatever. The AJ, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan versus the Judgment Day. Now, we might as well just talk about this and what happened the next night all in one, because so they just have this match, and it is what it is. Rhea Ripley, I thought, also was kind of shout out to I believe she was dressed like the Joker's new girlfriend in the comic books called Punchline. Yeah.
Well, so I like that she did the lip thing at the end and smeared her makeup.
Yeah, she did the Joker thing. So she's like kind of getting into the character, but like I saw those winks. Those are some comic nerd winks, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
At first I didn't like her gear. I thought her gear was stupid, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's trying to be Punchline. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So whatever. The match was what it was. It was okay. It was watchable. It was a thing. That's not what matters though. What matters is the spooky thing now. The top spooky faction has kind of already ended. It was only like a month of super evil Edge, and then he
you mean your favorite Edge? Is that what you meant to say?
Yeah,
your
my favorite. Because now Edge has got to do super crying. He's going to go back to crying, and coming back, and I don't know whatever he did, loving people, loving everyone, whatever his thing is when he's a babyface. He's going to go back, I guess, to being a babyface all of a sudden, because now Finn Balor, who I thought was just going to join the group, and then this would go on for 6 months all the way to WrestleMania or something before any kind of breakup happened. Finn Balor is just like the de facto leader of the three of them. I
now,
guess.
What was the reasoning? I know that this happened, but like, why did Finn Balor do that?
I don't know. I think he came out and he had a spiel about how he was impressed with Damian and Rhea. And Rhea and Damian were like, now, you've helped us so much, but it was like a Darth Vader Emperor kind of moment where they're like, well, now we have to kill our master to take his place or something. It's essentially what they're doing. Like, we've learned so much from you. Now we need to shed ourselves of you. And it was Edge
that happened quick then, man, because like
very quick.
Yeah.
It was.
And they even said that they were dead. He was dead weight or something, and it's like he's the one that won the match the night before. So it's like he won the match. You've only been a team.
How is he dead weight when he's the one talking? Like he's the one winning the matches. He's the one talking, pumping you up. Like he's getting you over because you can't talk for yourself. And he's dead weight. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, not good. So that lasted no time at all. And I really thought when they were just going to add Finn Balor and then just keep going, and it would have made more sense. And then you do this same scene in this story later. You do it later.
So whatchamacallit has to he has to be the leader now, right?
Yeah, Finn Balor again.
No. What the other?
Damian, because he's the tallest.
No, because he's the one who can talk. The other two have horrible accents. Like,
right.
I'm just being real here.
Dublin accent. But it's,
what I mean by horrible, I'm saying that they're very, very thick accents. That's what I mean by horrible, not as in they're actually bad. I'm saying they have thick accents. And so therefore it'll be hard to sit there and get in Louisville, Kentucky and talk to the people who have a very thick accent themselves.
I can hardly understand what they're saying in Louisville to begin with. Oh,
yeah, that's what. But Damian has to be the leader at this point, or at least the mouthpiece. That's where we are.
I don't know about him being the mouthpiece, man.
Me either. Bad Bunny should come back and he should be their leader.
I don't know about that either.
Wait, so you know what we're going to get? We're going to get them showing up, and they're going to have their music, and they're going to come out, and they're going to do their thing, and they're standing in the ring, and they're going to have their black outfits, and then all of a sudden, you think you know me. I don't know. I don't know you, actually. I mean, like, you've changed 3 times since you've been back, so I don't think I'll be, happy to hear your old music. I don't think I'll be happy to see you. You might bring your wife out with you. I don't know if I'll be happy to see you both. It's very weird. It's very strange. It's almost to the point where they gave him a contract and said, all right, Edge, your world. And he was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. It's going to be great. We're going to do this. And we're going to do this. And then everybody went, why did you say we're going to do all this in like 4 months? Like, he gave them idea after idea after idea and was like, yeah, we'll do that. That'll be before SummerSlam. And it's like, Jesus, you're going way too fast for this shit. So
it's June.
Yeah, it's just jam packed. Like, okay, I don't know if he's, trying to beat out the other programs, evil, spooky thing, but
spook off. Classic spook off.
Yeah, I don't know if he's sitting back, TiVo and DVR, whatever the fuck you do nowadays. I don't know if he's watching their product going, okay, they did this. Well, we need to do this because we're going to do it better. Like, it's just
I find the best way to watch the House of Black is on TiVo. It really is. Just nothing better. Just nothing goes better with TiVo than scarves, darkness.
I'm just saying the House of Black is starting to remind me of like old Scooby-Doo episodes. Like you believed it and it got scary for a little bit, and then the laugh track comes in or they'll foil it, and then you realize that it's all fun and games. Like that's what the House of Black is to me.
You should do what I do. So when the House
I feel
of Black
like that's the Dark Order, man.
Yeah, well, they're even worse, but I think they're kind of being phased out. The Dark Order, have you noticed? They're not around.
Yeah.
Just kind of a good thing because it seemed like it was just going to last forever, and then there was like the Luke Harper guilt that just seemed like it was going to keep it going for all eternity, or else we'd besmirch the memory of the man. It's like, no, it's okay. It's just a silly faction. Don't be that attached to it. So anyway.
Right.
No, I like to think of the House of Black as like Zoolander villains. And when you think of them like that, like Mugatu's gothic, line, like they're basically walking out wearing derelict from Zoolander. They're like derelict models. It's amazing. So inspired by the very homeless. So anyway, the other thing that kind of happened for Chicago, nobody cared, by the way, in Chicago, but Mustafa Ali is from Chicago, and he got a title shot against Austin Theory, and it was actually not that bad of a match.
I apologize. I fast forwarded that match too.
It wasn't that bad.
I don't have it in me to watch an Ali match.
No, it wasn't interesting, but it wasn't that bad. Theory looked good. His finisher looks good. I hate modern finishers. I just hate them. Everybody's putting everybody on their shoulders and then doing two things, and it's just fucking stupid. And then we get to the Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins Hell in a Cell match.
Here we go.
And we all know we're doing this. We almost did a instant reaction, but didn't deem the whole event worthy of such a thing. This match might have been worthy of an instant reaction. Everybody else did one. Every website, every hook and crook, every swinging podcaster out there. It was pretty jarring when he took off his robe. You just heard about the pec injury, like I think earlier in the day. We were wondering if it was a work. And then he took off his robe. Crowd was great, by the way, all night. And they were definitely popping for Cody harder than anything else.
Wait a minute. So earlier in the day, they basically came out and said, hey, this dude is injured. So in the vein of the whole Sasha Naomi thing, we thought it's a work because they came out well beforehand and said something. And then this happened and they came out and said something beforehand and we saw it and everybody immediately went, oh my God, this is real. Like,
well, I mean, so there's that, but I can also say that there's been times where they hid shit from us, where they told us that Randy Orton was going to fight for the championship all week long. Come to find out, he was fucking hurt. And then they had him attacked before the pay-per-view. So, like, I don't know.
I think this one was, I really do think this one was so serious of a situation as far as their main event and their draw and the money that's invested in it and providing the city as well as the pay-per-view, the actual show that you wanted to provide. I think they were worried, and that's why they released that one. They went and said, fuck, he's injured. Like, this is the part of the contract where, you know, card subject to change due to injury, blah, blah, blah. I think they were really worried how people were going to respond or if people wasn't going to believe him and then he didn't show up. Let's just say he didn't show up. It would, Chicago would have burned the place down. So I think they just kind of tried to get ahead of it. But the fact that he said, no, I'm going to do this, then they changed it into, we don't know what you're going to get, but he's here.
I mean, it was gnarly looking and you can't fake that. So
no.
They would have helicoptered Roman Reigns in, or even Brock Lesnar, I think, if Cody pulled out. I think they would have done something. I mean, this was such a weak card that you could tell that, Cody was, honestly, it was the only match that I had, after the triple threat ladies championship was up, advertised, then I was slightly interested in going. But the rest of the card, I was like, no, this isn't killing it. I do think it was better that it only had one Hell in a Cell match. But, it was a weak card, so I think Cody, his name was on the top, and he didn't want to give up the spot, and he gutted it out, man. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. Crowd was hushed when he took off his robe. It looked horrible.
Dude, it turned 3 different colors throughout that match.
Yeah.
If you if you paid attention to it, you watched it turn 3 different colors. At one point, my kids were like, "Is it yellow?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's jaundice." And then it turned like dark purple before it turned blue. I was like, at this point, there's no blood flow. Like, I'm like looking at it turn, and I'm like, he's got to be in pain.
He had a couple. He had to Like there's a pile driver that he tried to do, and whether he's working this or what, I mean, just all the things that he had to do around this arm, and then they did some things with it, like because it's his right arm, so you do everything to the left, right?
Right.
So you can dance around it when it's your right arm, and that's in your muscle memory to go always to the left on a lot of things. Um, but so when you go after a right arm, you have to you're kind of going against the grain as far as how pro wrestling flows. And so they did a few things with the right arm, but for the most part they were able to dance around it while also kind of playing with it a little bit, but not focusing on it like as much as Ric Flair focuses on a knee, right? Like if he did that the whole match, it would have been weird. He wouldn't have been able to do a lot. You had to smoke and mirrors it up. And then eventually the best smoke and mirrors possible came out. I love the bull rope match. I love bull ropes. If of all gimmick matches, I think it might be my favorite. I don't know what it is about a bull rope. It's just there's so much with it you can do. When you hit somebody in the head with the thing, it's got that. Everybody loves when Austin hit Vince McMahon with the piss pan or whatever.
Yeah.
And the bedpan, and you get that same thing with you get cowbell. You get cowbell with the bull rope.
I need
It's
more
awesome.
cowbell.
I love it, man. So I love that they pulled that out, and he's like, put it on. He's like, it's like Shane. It's like, pick up the gun. It's like, he's like telling him he's screaming at him to attach himself to the bull rope, and then he does. And I thought that was a good gimmicky addition to the match. And they did some gimmicks inside gimmicks, but you notice this is the least Hell in a Cell match ever. They did shit with that cage, man.
Yeah, that cage was used maybe once that I could remember, and it was quickly left behind, which is fine because then it shows the professionalism of the two competitors in the ring, where they can actually still tell a story, because the match slowed down considerably, and I didn't give a shit. Like,
yeah, I didn't hate this match. Like how disappointed I was in some of the WrestleMania stuff. Like this match was good. It made sense to be in a cage, because I hate that too when they are like, well, the pay-per-view's called Hell in a Cell, so something has to be in a cage. And it's like, no, this is the third match, the blow off. And really that cage is just to keep them close to each other. And then you're right. They just went for it in the ring and it made sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can say that this is the second time that I popped for Rollins, because I didn't think anything would be better than him at the Rumble coming in with that flak jacket with Roman and laughing. When he came in and he had that robe wrapped around him, and then he popped that robe open. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's the polka dots.
Yeah, the polka dots.
And the fact that that's, that we all know that like Dusty had a big part in Seth's career. So
yeah,
that was awesome.
It was
awesome. And when he put on the robe or whatever later on, it's like gimmicking him up, and he had the belt. He had the other belt, or what, he's gonna hit him with the belt or whatever he did, the weight belt. Oh man, there was a lot of great stuff in this, and then it was just masterful how they danced around the injury but still did things, and then it was like a mixture of legitimate pain and work pain on Cody's face, like the whole time. The dude was definitely grimacing for real, though. I mean, it looked like it sucked, and oh man,
yeah, the crossroads looked like it was painful to get through. The Cody cutter, I think that was muscle memory, and he forgot, because when he came off, he went, "Oh fuck!" Like you could tell he went, "Shouldn't have done that. Really should not have done that." So and
his arm like seized like a little bit when he did it and everything, and you're just like, "Oh shit! Oh!" And the audience did it too. They were like, "God!" Oh.
Yeah, because I don't think that was an intentional thing where he was actually thinking about his injury. He was just, being in the ring doing his thing, and then just you could tell when he went up and did the leap, and his feet was ready to springboard, and he automatically grabs the ropes to help launch him. When he grabbed that rope, his face said, "That was dumb." Like his face just told the whole story. So,
and then So this match featured probably my favorite gimmick, the cow, the full rope, and it also had my least favorite gimmick. What do you think my least favorite gimmick is?
The damn sledgehammer.
The damn sledgehammer.
It's worthless. Like it is the thing that I used to hate from Triple H. Two reasons why I hated the sledgehammer from Triple H. A, because Triple H looks the way Triple H looks.
Yeah.
He's fucking huge. There's no reason he needs a sledgehammer to knock someone's head off. That always disturbed me because it's like you're that big and you need a fucking steel piece of, basically a steel hammer this size to beat this person. I never understood why that was the thing. And then the second thing is everybody knows if you hit somebody with a fucking sledgehammer for real, they're dead.
Yeah.
So how do you fake that? How do you even get people to suspend their belief to go, well, he didn't hit him that hard with the sledgehammer? Listen to what the fuck you're saying. It's a goddamn sledgehammer.
Yeah. And it was a really, for all that being said, it was one of the better hits to end the match with a sledgehammer I can ever remember, because he was flying at him and whatever, but it's still stupid. You have to you put your hand over the hammer itself, and then no one swings. You never do it. It's stupid. It's just the way you have to work it is so dumb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The way you have to work it is just the dumbest thing. And people just go, it's great. I'm like, no, it's stupid.
I think the majority believe it sucks. I know why it started with Triple H. It's because he was doing that shit with Mick Foley. So the idea was nothing could really hurt Mick Foley. So that's kind of where it started. The fact that Triple H kept doing it and going back to it was really dumb.
Yeah, because it became his thing. Like that was his thing, and I was like, why do you need this
sledgehammer? It's like, Jesus, dude. It's like, and then Cody made fun of that, but he basically made fun of it with his, with AEW with the throne and smashing the throne, and so it's a callback to all that, and callbacks were all over this thing and whatever. So that's the only negative I can say about it. It was an all-time great match. It's a match with a story behind the scenes. This is some shit. This is gonna be in so many packages, and it's in the Best of Cody Rhodes DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. That's special series. This is gonna get the full car wash of treatment. It's on top 10 lists and all that stuff. So I think it's probably the second most memorable Hell in a Cell match overall. I mean, I think the Foley off the cage, and then this one, and then there's some other good ones or whatever, bloody ones and all that shit, but I think that one and this one are the most memorable.
Well, I got to put Sasha and Charlotte in there.
That beat the cage.
Shit to me.
It was a good match.
No,
I mean that's one of the better ones.
That's what I'm saying. Like that one always, because
the first
they did stuff. Yeah, they did stuff that they were basically told not to do. Yeah. Because of the perception of women, in the cage and whatever. And they told them, look, just don't probably do this, this, and this. And they said, fuck it, and went all out. And that's why I can remember that one.
Yeah, but, given that opening where she threw her off, like whatever, when they started outside the cage.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing I didn't like in that whole match was the table. And the only reason I didn't like the table is because Sasha soaking wet is 20 pounds. And no matter how hard Charlotte throws you, I mean, unless the table's already gimmicked, you ain't breaking it. So it took a lot for them to go back to that table and get that table broken. And I thought maybe that they should have just left it alone. But, I didn't fault the whole match because of it,
Yeah, I've always thought if you don't break the table, just keep going. Fuck it. Like that comes from. I mean, sometimes it was funny when Sabu would do it or whatever, because Sabu would botch his shit all the time. But that was like part of the charm, I guess, back in the day. It's like he would fuck up some triple jump thing, and then he'd still fucking do it, and it was almost like, come on, you old stoner, you can do it. And then he fucking did it, and you're like, yay!
Right.
But when it gets done, so I think that set a bad precedent, because they're like, oh, you gotta break the table, and it's like, nah, And the Dudleys were pretty adamant about making sure every table broke and shit like that. So they would do some funny shit to make sure it broke the second time or whatever. But there's ways of doing it right, and then there's ways of not doing it. And I think you got to be a stoned, you know, fake. What is he? I don't know. He's an Arabic guy pretending to be an Indian guy. Anyway, Sabu.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about somebody recent. I was like, wait, who is this?
No.
I
I don't know. No one has been good at doing this. The re-break of a table since the late '90s and early 2000s. It's a lost art.
Yeah, because
But,
I mean, even when Cody set it on fire and burned
Yeah.
himself, I was just like, for what? Like that.
Yeah.
That whole match, I was like, for what? So I think that
Dudleys did it 20 years ago.
well, yeah, but that goes to show you. I mean, 3 months ago or 4 months ago now. I mean, time is flying, so forgive me if it's been longer. 4 months ago,
Mhm.
Cody was literally setting himself on fire,
Yeah.
and everybody
Man.
was like, "What the fuck is this dude doing now?" Like, Jesus Christ! And now, 4 or 5 months later, he's having this match in Hell in a Cell, and you're going, "Holy shit! It was amazing!" And
Yeah.
I was never a Cody hater to the degree in which a lot of other people despise Cody. Granted, Dustin is better. I get that. I'm saying Cody was always learning and getting better. And like the way they made him a mid Carter or a lower mid Carter and was like, he'll never, amount to anything. And people would shit on the fucking Stardust gimmick. He treated Stardust like Dusty did those fucking polka dots.
There's nothing wrong with that Stardust gimmick.
Exactly. He
Hey.
made that shit work. I'm sorry. He hates it. And I hate it for him. But he made it work. Like he went full Riddler. And if you don't understand the Riddler, you wouldn't have understood the Stardust gimmick.
I have to say, Cody Rhodes has my full respect. I will never. He has some. No, he earns the hate that he was getting because he had some really cringy promos. He said some really cringy, shit outside.
Oh no, I wasn't talking about on that mic.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking about on that mic. There's some shit that you go, Cody. Shut the fuck up. There's some
his
shit.
Racism thing or whatever. He solved racism.
Well, yeah, he solved racism when he had a kid.
That's all you got to do. Have a mixed baby.
Have an
Racism
interracial child. He solved racism right there. What is America worried about? Jesus.
I don't know. Yeah, man. No, I'm a Cody fan, and this is definitely one of the best eras of any single performer. This is a special time. He's going to be hurt. He's going to be out for a little while, which is why they say that maybe that was the reason for switching Edge so quick. Said you needed another baby face. And that's the only theory that also I have for the abruptness of the change, because they are kind of heel heavy and top babyface light, which has been the problem for a long time.
Well,
yeah,
if you had actual storylines, it's instead of like Monday Night Raw gimmicks and Friday Night SmackDown gimmicks, you wouldn't have this problem because you have a roster full of people that could possibly do this job if you gave them a shot. And then this would be the time to give them a shot while these people are injured. I'm just saying, like, it's writing itself, but you don't have enough confidence in your crew.
Yeah.
I mean, this shit's writing itself.
Yeah, Austin Theory's elevated. SmackDown had Gunther winning the IC belt, which I think he's gonna have it for a long time. If I don't know, if I had to guess, I don't know what the hell's in anyone's mind in the writing staff or the Vince, ultimately his decisions. I think that they're gonna put that belt on Gunther for like 2 years or something. He's just it's gonna go back to being like the worker belt. I mean, that would be a great thing for him. And then that's part of the show. You got to have different things on the plate. So at least they would have the wrestling part taken care of for part of the show, and I don't know about the top card. I don't know. They're kind of screwed at the moment.
So can we talk about, since we like meshed the Edge thing for Monday in it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Becky Monday. All right. Here's the deal, and this is just me personally. When Becky Lynch basically demanded a title shot for the 24/7 belt on Monday, after having the match she had on Sunday, I went, what the holy fuck? How do you, I don't care if it's just, something fun to do. You don't book that. You don't book her with fucking Dana Brooke. Sorry. Like, she should have came out.
See, I didn't keep up on Monday. That happened. Becky Lynch versus Dana Brooke.
Well, what happened was she was out there, and Dana, I think they were gonna have a match in general or something, and the 24-second crew came running through, doing their normal shit, and they got in the ring.
Yeah, which is is Dana the champ?
No, at the time she wasn't, but they got in the ring, interrupted them, and Dana pins the person and becomes the champ immediately right then and there. And then Becky is like, no, nobody interrupts me. If there's going to be a 24/7 match or whatever, it's going to be me right now against you. And I thought, it may be entertainment, but you don't do that to Becky Lynch. Sorry. Not this belt. We know this belt is purely a gimmick entertainment belt. Like, there's nothing legitimate about the 24/7 belt. And if you're a Becky Lynch, for me, if you're a Becky Lynch, you're nowhere near this fucking segment. Like, this would have never happened to the Undertaker.
Yeah, that's what I was scared about happening with Asuka. Like, so they're doing it to Becky instead, it sounds like.
Yeah.
But that could be the cool off. Like, I mean, they've given Roman, like, they've taken Roman out of things just so the fans won't hate him. Because if you remember on the pay-per-view, Becky got booed pretty heavily.
And that's fine. But again, this would not have happened to The Undertaker, right?
No, you would never see The Undertaker go after, like, the TV title?
That ain't even a TV title. The TV title actually had some merit. Like,
well, I know, I was just trying to think of like the lowest, or the European title or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the European title. Yeah. I mean, this the belt ain't even real. Like, they didn't even put anything into the actual making of the belt compared to what they do when they make belts. The belt ain't even real. So she should have stayed away from that whole segment. But that's me personally. That's just my 2 cents. And you could be on the side of, well, it was just part of the storyline, moving it along because, Asuka came in and interfered and kind of kept the thing going that they have with each other. But still, no, not after that. Not after the pay-per-view they had, or the match that they had. You don't do that. You don't have Becky Lynch anywhere near the 24/7. I don't know. That's just me, I guess. But
maybe it's one of those things of getting the fans excited about the belt or something. Like, I don't know. But you're right. It's because the belt, it's not like you can even compare it to the Cena run with the US title. Like, that belt is not, it's nothing.
Right.
Unless R-Truth has it, because I love some R-Truth,
Still.
But if R-Truth has it, at least it's on TV, I feel.
Right. But if R-Truth has it, you know what you're getting from R-Truth. R-Truth isn't taking that belt, walking in the ring against Roman, seriously walking in the ring against Roman.
Yeah. And defending his 24/7 title against Roman.
Right. He's not seriously doing that. Now, that's just not happening. So you know what you're getting. This is Becky Lynch, the former man, big time Bex, she's above that title, dude. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And she was on the. She wasn't the one that got pinned, right, in the triple threat.
Right.
Yeah. So. Right. Yeah, she was on the outside, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So she was all kind of. She had a great out, and I don't know. Yeah, I think they sequenced that all really great, where they all look strong in the end, and then then they do this dumbass booking shit on their boring ass show on Monday. Yeah.
Where's your shots fired button, Greg?
So there you go. Yeah.
This stupid ass shit on their boring ass show.
Right. So whatever happened, anything else on Raw of note?
Nothing that anybody gives a shit about. Like, for a second there, I was saying Raw was getting better, and then whoever like gave the keys to the car just to the valet took them back. Like when the valet had them, Raw was getting better. Like the valet was taking the car.
That second that we all knew Paul Heyman was writing some shit, and it felt a little bit different, a little bit better.
Yeah, and then they yanked it out of his hands and was like, "You, what do you do, intern? You're now the head writer." And they put it in
kind
that
of like
guy.
a natural disaster movie from like 1997 outside.
He's still worried about outside. Like,
Oh, dude,
you're inside.
I envision Julian literally looking over his shoulder the whole time with his face aimed at the microphone, but his head is turned and he's looking out the window.
Yeah, I do this by the window, and I mean, I can't tell you, man. There's so many sirens and just.
He's waiting for Bill Paxton to show up.
Out there, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, look how much Julian cares about you. He's doing this show, and he can die. It's like Twister out there. There's cows. There's another cow.
We're going in.
We're going in. Oh my God, that movie!
I watched all those disaster movies, by the way, so I'm ready. I've got my plan. I know where to go. We're going to the basement.
Volcano was my favorite.
We can get down there. We just have to go outside.
Over Dante's Peak?
We have to go outside to get into the basement, so it's gonna be some real Twister shit if it goes down.
I picked Volcano because it's Tommy Lee Jones. He said,
okay.
He sat there and said, "I gave her my daughter. She gave me this card."
So the one thing that I want you guys to catch me up on, right? Like, so Bobby Lashley, I fast forward to the end. He wins that match, right?
Yeah, against MVP. Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes over and grabs a title belt out of the crowd. Now, are they splitting the titles back out?
I think at this point they're gonna have to, because if Roman's not gonna be there, you got no title holder on either one.
Yeah, so Roman is technically the Universal and the World, correct?
Yeah, the undisputed.
Okay, so when Bobby Lashley goes over and grabs a world title belt and says, "I'm next," like, is there a story right now of somebody fighting for that world, or what? Or is he saying he's going after Roman?
The story right now is, according to SmackDown, is going to be Riddle. Riddle goes against Roman next.
But for
the Universal.
For the Universal.
I'm sorry. For the undisputed. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I'm foggy on what's exactly like. I feel like they wrote themselves into a corner here of going like, well, we'll have Brock versus Roman for the most, whatever the fuck it was, stupendous match in the world. And then they went, well, shit. Like, where are our titles?
Yeah. Again, it's that intern. And I'm going to keep, and it probably is not an intern, but I'm going to keep calling him an intern, because he sat there and said, "I got it, Vince. We're going to unify the belts. It's going to be great. Brock and Roman, and then Brock's going to go away, and then Roman's going to have both belts, and that's right. The bloodline's going to be awesome." And Vince is sitting there going, "All right, sounds great. What do we do then?" "Oh, well, he holds it until The Rock comes, and then this shit happens with Roman, and he leaves, and then Vince is like, what do we do now? I don't know, Vince. That's all I had.
You came in too early. It's Friday at 5. What am I supposed to do here?
Why did you let him go? You signed his release papers or whatever, the goddamn vacation papers. I wouldn't have let him go. We have to wait for The Rock. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, if you were going to unite the belts, then you had to come up with, I don't know, by the next pay-per-view, a way to split the belts. Just because. And you could have made both belts strong, and you could have split them up, and they could have been on brands. And if everybody goes, well, I don't like the whole brand split, the red and the blue and the blue and the red. You got 2 goddamn different shows. So you're going to have to figure that shit out because everybody's watching one or the other at this point in time. And now they're going back and forth. SmackDown has the lead, but it's starting to suck. So you need to figure it out so that if you're going to keep these 2, Monday Night Raw, if Monday Night Raw is the flagship by legacy, then you have to figure that shit out. If SmackDown is the flagship by actual talent present day, you have to figure that shit out. You can't just sit there and go, well, give them both to Roman and Roman take them both home. It's not like they got 12 of these belts. You know, if it's like the olden days, you got one, maybe they might have a backup now, but you got one of each. And then you have one of the universe undisputed. So Roman's got these shits at home. Now what the fuck do you do?
On his private island.
Right. So
Apparently.
So what do you do? Like, you have to break this up. So Riddle comes in and Riddle's gonna beat Roman. We did all this shit for 2 years for Riddle to beat Roman. Oh my God.
But that's the problem that they had, and I think we talked about it before, is that like they don't have anybody to challenge Roman unless it's like the story that we were talking about where by the time Roman goes through Rock, that's when Cody gets his briefcase.
Well, yeah, because now Cody is gone for damn near 10 months to a year, and count 9 months from now. Who?
Is that the official word on his?
Yeah, the official word is he's out 9 months.
Damn.
Yeah. So you don't have Cody. You don't.
Right.
So, yeah. So now it's like, oh shit. So when I say we went through all this shit for Riddle to be the one, I'm slightly joking, but
dude, it could happen. It could
fucking
happen.
You should close that window.
Close the window.
Close that window.
Tijuana.
You closed the window in Tijuana. Hey, Aunt Meg, where's your cows? Oh no, this is pretty good meat. Where's your cows? You see my cows? No.
So
it's the movie of the century, though. For real, it's hilariously. It's so inaccurate that it's just so funny. Like they went through 5 tornadoes and they did not die. And then the F5 tornado that should have blown their eardrums out, they just used a belt.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
Well, so this is crazy. But yeah, if Riddle wins, that'd be kind of weird, you know? That's my big take.
If Riddle wins, it'll be kind of weird. That's your take.
There it is.
Wow. Okay. So
best I got while I'm in the eye of the storm right now.
he is literally typing out a will.
Yeah.
And he's like,
he's not worried about us right now
at all. He's like,
thinking about last thoughts, you know? I'm thinking about last thoughts.
He's like Riddle and Lacey Evans. Yeah. The fuck? Like, what are you talking about?
I finally saw Lacey Evans' gear, and you know, someone is obsessed with like backpack straps in the wardrobe department.
John Laurinaitis is very obsessed with like a certain look.
Yeah.
Lita. I'm sorry. I had to cough. He's obsessed with that look, and he wants everybody in in that look. Let's just say that. But here's my thing. With Lacey Evans in that outfit, so you went from Lacey Evans in the Southern Belle Gone with the Wind / risque type of gear to this, like G.I. Jane / stripper. I don't know. It's weird.
It's like Sonya Blade, I think. They're leaning more Sonya.
Yeah, so it's a weird look. And then, I mean, I'm glad that she kept her finisher. I love the woman's right. That thing is amazing to me. It works for her. She can pull it off. It's something she can do every night. It's like the Hands of Stone Ron Garvin. Like at the end of the day, Ron Garvin punched you in the face and you fell down.
Yeah, I know. I loved it.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's something you can do every freaking night. So yeah. So I did enjoy that. I mean, I think the whole Xia Li match went a little long and sloppy. I kind of believe they should be feeding people to Lacey after they spent, 2 months, describing this horrible story that basically is very common to people in America. I don't think it's uncommon, but I get it. So I really think she should just be laying waste to folks like Xia Li. No disrespect to Xia Li. I think the problem I have is where they're trying to get her to go. I don't know if she can make it there, and at least not right now. I don't believe she can make it there right now. So she's gonna be low card for me, and you should be fed to Lacey Evans. But other than that, they finally got her in the ring. I was happy with that. But if all of this 800 days, it's like really 690 or 702 or whatever the fuck, 700 days of Roman being the champ comes down to Riddle.
It'd be kind of weird.
I think I'm gonna take a long hiatus from wrestling.
I think we've all quit wrestling at some point for probably less, right?
Yeah, I quit wrestling the day Charlotte lost to what's her face,
Carmella,
Graves girl.
It was Carmella, yeah.
Yeah, I quit wrestling that day. I remember I called you.
Yeah,
I said I'm turning this shit off, and we're done here.
Right.
We're absolutely done.
But she was a baby face, and wasn't that a post WrestleMania switch?
It made no sense.
Wasn't it?
It was the Charlotte needs to lose.
It was Money in the Bank. Like didn't Carmella have the briefcase?
Yeah. She had the briefcase. Cashed in.
That was the Ellsworth time, right?
Yeah. And
I think that was fine.
Nope.
I think that was fine. Especially because it was a
absolutely not fine. It led to what I call the John Cena year. Charlotte suffered that same year. Like a lot of people forget that John Cena, after he lost that WrestleMania match to The Rock, for that next year, all the way up until that fucking match again, John Cena was losing to fucking Tensai and other people. Like it was ridiculous. Like folks have forgotten
he was losing his touch.
Folks have forgotten that John Cena lost a lot that year, and that's what led to Charlotte just randomly losing to people she should not be losing to whatsoever. Better than the whole fucking roster. Sorry, not sorry.
Wow.
So I'm just saying it is what it is. But like I said, I think Lacey Evans could do some wonderful things. Maybe they build her up, get her ready for Charlotte. That'll be a decent match, now that Lacey is getting more reps to her. I kind of want to see, at this point, fuck it, pull the trigger. Since you've already screwed up Judgment Day, pull the trigger and just have goddamn Rhea Ripley go rogue and do whatever the fuck she wants. And fucking dress her like Rogue, like from the comics.
Yeah.
Just dress her like that. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah. 1992, Rogue. Give me Rogue. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Give her the hair. Give her the hair or something. Anyway, so that brings us to. Hold on, I was trying to segue because you were talking about Charlotte again. You love her so much.
Unless Tessa Blanchard is in the building, who is a better women's wrestler?
And is it even Tessa Blanchard in this conversation anymore? Because she's barely. I don't know.
At this time, at this stage, probably not. I'm just saying. Tessa Blanchard 3 years ago, yeah. I'm sorry.
I don't know. The spider lady that I like in Japan.
Okay.
Toxic.
But I'm just saying. Who is a better women's wrestler?
But
and I hope she
comes
she is.
Jesus criminy. There is lightning. My God, man. It is Wizard of Oz looking outside, man. So that brings us to Dynamite, which is another explosive thing. And Dynamite had the AEW side of who's gonna go to the pay-per-view and fight for the championship against New Japan, the interim AEW championship. Their side of the business was figured out all in one night, and I think that it should have been split up, but this is how they decided to do it. So they had their very confusing, to be quite honest, Casino Battle Royal. It is not like a Royal Rumble. I guess you don't want to just completely copy what they do with that, even though I don't think it fucking matters. But in the interest of time, it's not one guy every 3 minutes or whatever it is, or 2. It's chunks of dudes coming in at a time. So it's like 5, and they just have back to back to back. So I guess it's maybe like poker cards or something, is what they're alluding to. And so 5 guys at a time come into the ring and have kind of rapid entrances. And I think they started with 5 guys, and then it gets up to, I don't know how many people were in this match. 21, I'm not sure. Andrade El Idolo, or El Idolo. He came back. He came back, and he looked really cool because his gimmick is looking like Black Man. Everyone's doing a comic book thing with their gear.
I thought he already did the Black Mask thing.
Yeah, he did. He's still doing it. No new gear. Fine. It's cool.
Oh, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
His pants are cool.
Damn.
He's cool.
I know he's cool. That's why I've liked him. And then I was mad that fucking nothing was going on in AEW.
Wait, I have a question though. Is he cool?
It's cool. So I don't want to recap.
That ain't cool.
Yeah, I don't want to recap the whole match because it's a battle royal. A bunch of shit happened. The highlights for story wise, which I hope doesn't actually lead to an immediate breakup. Speaking of doing things too quick, Swerve basically pulled a swerve on his partner Keith Lee, and just did a surprise up and over kind of gimmick, and then he's like, "I got you." They had some facial expressions towards one another, very WWE like, by the way. And they were like, "I got you." He's doing the shrug. He's like, "I'm shrugging. I'm Swerve. I swerved you." And Keith Lee's pissed. Just Jesus Christ, the lightning. Oh my God. So he's all pissed, and hopefully it doesn't break up the team.
Can we end this? What's going on?
Wait, I just gotta. It's the greatest thing. That lightning struck, and Julian jumped 4 feet, and was like, "It's all over, guys. This is it. I'm gonna die.
I'm in a war zone, bro. I'm in a war zone, man." So a bunch of people were in this thing. Takashita, which really, homie, if he does a program with Jericho, I bet Jericho just wants to do a program with him so he can just say his name incorrectly, and be like, Takashita. Like, I just, because when you spell it out phonetically, man, it just says take shit up. That's how you spell it, man. So anyway, Takashita, who I really, oh my god, that landing was incredible. Takashita looked really good in the match. Max Caster did a rap. It was pretty good. Anyway, the winner of this battle royal wound up being Kyle O'Reilly. Wheeler Yuta was like one of the last guys in there. It came down to, who did it come down to? The last ones were Yuta, Andrade, and the last four were Phoenix, Andrade, Yuta, O'Reilly. And they did a bunch of shit, and then eventually O'Reilly got Yuta out. So it's amazing out there. So Kyle O'Reilly won, and he's all beat up, and he had a baby face like pop, basically for what happened to him. Yeah, he won. So he gets to face Jon Moxley at the end of the show. Yeah. Buddy Matthews and Pac had a match. So it was a spooky pectoral face-off. Who has the spookiest pecs in all of wrestling? And we found out that on this night, the spookiest pecs in all of wrestling belonged to Pac. And he looked really good. His finisher's really cool. You know, the Black Arrow spinny Rooney thing he does in the air. It's pretty cool.
What makes pecs spooky?
I think it's the fact that he cannot seem to locate a hairdryer or a towel after he takes a shower. He just air dries no matter what. And
What does that have to do? What does that have to do with being spooky?
Dude, that's spooky. You ever see a dude who's just like, nah, I just got out the shower. I ain't drying shit.
That's a great question.
That's pretty intimidating. He's like, I'm too good for dryness. I don't know.
Wait, I just want to know where is this going?
I don't know.
He's talking about guys drying and being spooky drying and not being spooky drying and just coming out the shower. I just was trying to figure out.
Are you an air dryer yourself? Do you you don't dry your hair, your head after a shower? You just let the earth whisk you into dryness naturally?
It sounds like the earth is about to whisk you into. Like that's. I mean, you're the one in the tornado. I don't know.
I know. I think the worst is over. That was a lot of lightning, and that sounded like just the gods doing battle just now in the skies. But I think the worst is over. Eventually, so now Will Ospreay came out and confronted FTR. So FTR and whoever that other guy is, Trent. I don't know.
So you're saying this is the second part of the show that we need music for? I don't give a fuck, right?
Maybe. But this is setting up the matches that are happening at Forbidden Door.
The Forbidden Door, yeah.
So the team of the United Empire, which is like a Samoan guy and a guy from somewhere, Japan, something like that. Maybe, I don't know. They look like horses. I mean, they are pretty cool. I don't know anything about them, but when they've jumped, they've had a couple of appearances and they beat people up, and they look strong. The Australian or the Aussie, the Samoan, whatever guy, whatever he is, he does this cool slam. That's all I can say. I mean, they look good, but whatever. Ospreay did his elbow thing. He jumped in. He has curly hair. I haven't really seen a lot of Will Ospreay. I've seen the match with Okada, some of the other stuff. He's basically like he's a lot like Kenny Omega. I mean, that's they're all kind of they're very similar. All these all the guys in that ilk, all the New Japan, you know, they all have the same influences and do a bunch of shit, you know.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they got barbed wire and stuff.
yeah, or whatever.
Barbed wire.
Right. And then there was David Finlay against Hangman Page. So Hangman Page actually had a decent match, and he challenged whoever he wanted to go. He did a promo after this. So first of all, it is the son of Fit Finlay, so that was kind of cool. He came out with a shillelagh. I think he's in New Japan, so this might have been a crossover thing. But maybe if they get David Finlay on the roster, then that's pretty cool. He's pretty good from what I've seen. But he's New Japan at the time. Anyhow, Hangman basically challenged Okada for the IWGP Championship, and Okada has not shown his face in any way so far with this AEW crossover stuff. So who knows? He's the man. If you're not familiar, Okada is the man in Japanese wrestling for the last however many years. So, yep. Wardlow called out CM Punk for the real title, saying he'll wait, but he wants a piece of that ass with Scorpio Sky, so he wants the TNT title. So that's what Wardlow's doing. And then what else happened? Oh, Thunder Rosa and Marina Shafir. I liked her. Shafir.
Oh yeah, she's over there now, right?
She's pretty good. This is my first time seeing her, and she was real. This is a good match. It was real rough, and she definitely does she's another one. She's like a female Kyle O'Reilly. She did a lot of legitimate jiu-jitsu stuff, and it was pretty cool. And then she actually she kind of tried to heal it up after the match and beat her up. And she did go over a little bit on Thunder Rosa, and then good old Tony Storm made the save. And then they did the old school, I'm going to hand you the belt, but I'm going to hand you the belt real slowly. I'm going to pick this up. I call this the One Ring Samwise Gamgee Frodo Baggins scene when Samwise picks up the ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, here you go, Mr. Frodo. And then there's that tension between them. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no,
anyway,
I know.
That's what they did with the belt. They're like, here you go, Thunder Rosa. She's Australian, so it's like, here you go, Thunder. And then
oh my God, Greg.
And she's like,
wow.
All right. Well, so anyway, they're setting up, obviously, planting the little seeds for Thunder Rosa versus Tony Storm, which would be babyface versus babyface. And I don't think they should do that right now. But she could do babyface versus babyface title matches. I think you can do that in AEW a little better than you can in WWE for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, because there are no rules in AEW.
Yeah, there's that, but I just think that, because the crowds are a little more, I don't know, participatory, they get the kind of double. The crowds are better they see them all the time, and they don't know shit, so they just like cheering for everything. So it works when you have babyface versus babyface, and everybody's cheering for everything, I guess. I don't know. It's a little funny. It's a mutual admiration society, sort of. But yeah, I don't know. They can do that if they want. That'll be fine. So then we got to the main event, which is my favorite wrestler in the world right now, Kyle O'Reilly, against my least favorite wrestler, Jon Moxley. And we all know what's going to fucking happen in this one. Moxley's going to go over. It was actually a very good match. And it showed you that Moxley can do these. He can always, don't say that he's like useless or literally bad at doing pro wrestling stuff. I think he can be quite good if he's got the right dance partner. And this is what's frustrating about him doing, Nick Gagey stuff and acting like that's worth a shit, is when he can actually pull off a fairly decent, straightforward fucking wrestling match, with a guy like Kyle O'Reilly. And it was great. Kyle O'Reilly was basically playing it was weird psychology because it was like the underdog heel that was getting like that worker chance. You know, he's like the worker bee that's getting that's over in this way with the audience and already went through something. So it's more or less putting Kyle O'Reilly over big time, putting him in this spot. But I just think they should have split it up over 2 weeks, and then you could add O'Reilly, healing it up a little bit. And you could have like saved O'Reilly a little more, or at least kept him aligned. It's like now you basically have to go with a baby face push for O'Reilly in the future. So, which is weird for him. Any thoughts?
No.
Wow. Well, yeah, that happened. That was Dynamite.
Well, it's because we knew what was going to happen. I mean,
yeah.
So, I mean, what am I worried about? We all know Moxley's going.
Yeah, and now it really seems like he's just going to win the title, and there's no other way around it. And then you'll have your Moxley versus CM Punk.
Boo.
And then I don't know, the way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if Moxley beat CM Punk.
Boo.
When he came back. I'm serious, man. I think that there's something about this dude. He's got his hooks in Tony Khan like you wouldn't believe, and more than anyone else. And I think I guess it has to be Punk as the highest paid guy, but without a doubt, the second place is Moxley, and it could actually overall be Moxley, which I think is fucking weird. Bad for business. Doesn't make any sense. I don't see where Moxley is actually a draw, like a big draw that's worth.
I think he was when he first got over there.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was.
If I'm a person on crystal meth, Moxley is the greatest wrestler ever. Like, if I'm missing,
We got cows.
We got cows, but if I'm missing several teeth, then I don't know.
Well, and his rising success, or however you want to measure it, has coincided with the terrible opioid crisis. So I don't know if those are just his people, or like he does have that kind of appeal. I don't know, man. I don't think it's that's where they're going, and they've made another title, the Atlantic title, transatlantic, all Atlantic title, whatever it is. It's for some reason this is like an internet. It's basically their version of an IC title. So they have a new AEW title that they're having a tournament for as well. So that's another tournament going on at the same time, and they just got done with another tournament. Adam Cole just carries the Heart title around everywhere he goes. So how long are they going to hold on to those Heart tournament one-time, one-and-done titles? Well, what are they doing with those belts? I don't know. They got a lot of belts.
They got a lot of belts, and they ain't got a lot of people that can hold them up. Now,
shots
here's
fired.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm just,
Damn.
I really want them to succeed, but I swear to God, it's just like you watching the train wreck, and it's not going to get any better no time soon until some real serious conversations are had. And I think because of the television numbers and what's actually starting to move in merchandising, people aren't understanding exactly the trajectory in which they need to be on. And quite frankly, they need to be on a different trajectory altogether. Like, God forbid the injury happened to CM Punk. CM Punk is supposed to be champion. Jade Cargill is supposed to be your women's champion. No disrespect to Thunder Rosa, but Jade Cargill, this is the trajectory it's supposed to be. Jade Cargill, and nobody is supposed to be able to beat her until you bring in that person, that one person that can come in and actually go head up with Jade Cargill. That's your draw. That's your money.
Yeah.
And if you find that person, if it be Rhea Ripley, not saying, if you find that person, then okay, whatever. But Wardlow is supposed to challenge CM Punk for this belt. These are the ways you're supposed to be moving that company. Your gimmick matches, put them all on damn Dark or put them in actual dark matches before the show. Create your own main event show and put all your gimmick matches and all your dark orders and all your sunny kisses and everything else, you put them on that show. And then when it comes time for the lights to come on and it's Dynamite, it better be fucking Dynamite. I don't want to see rando this guy and rando that guy. I don't want to see a person that you've tried to take from the WWE and just mildly tweak them. I want to see an actual promotion that literally gets it. You railed on the WWE that they don't get wrestling, and then you put this shit on.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying.
I think overall the show was pretty good this past week, but this New Japan stuff is you got to Google everything, and yeah, the crowd popped for Will Ospreay, and I don't even know, they were in Missouri, they were around St. Louis, Independence, Missouri for this. So you've got probably, St. Louis has always had a lot of wrestling fans there. It's old territory and all that. So, your crowds are hot and they're smart fans, quote unquote. And so they're cheering for the Japanese guys that you're seeing, but they need to do packages, man. Like they really need to do packages on all these guys. They need to start fleshing out who the fuck is coming over from Japan for this show, and treat me like I don't know how to watch New Japan right now. Like it's on Fight. I don't know what it's on.
Yeah, I think it's on Fight. Like they had their app for a second, I think, but it's on. As far as I know, it went because doesn't Ross have something to do with Fight?
Yeah, I mean Jim Ross was doing the English commentary for their pay-per-views or something like that with Matt Stryker. I think he did the show for a little while, and with Josh Barnett too. Either way, I would watch those broadcasts. I did watch whichever one years ago that had Okada and Kenny Omega, and I think I watched Alpha versus Omega, the Jericho one. And I watched them like after the fact or whatever. I know I can visually tell you who Okada is, and Tanahashi. I don't know a whole lot about, their backstory. I could visually tell you who Will Ospreay is. The average wrestling fan really can't, especially Will Ospreay for sure. And then really the gimmicks, I don't know the gimmicks. You don't know all the moves. You have to you're playing catch up with all these guys doing this crossover show. They've got to really dumb it down and come out with some packages, inform this. And then what are you doing? You're spending resources to fucking put over, another promotion. And it's like, well, who's going to pay for that shit? And it's like, is New Japan going to put together these packages and do it in a way for a Western audience? That's something for TNT, Can they do it on their dime and just give us like a quick once over of who all these fucking people are and why we should care? And at least do some of those packages, and then you'll at least inform some of the fans that the majority that don't know what the fuck's going on with these people or why they should care. Because the concept of the show is cool. When Worlds Collide back in the day, that's one of the cool gems on the WWE network. You can watch that and see like Eddie Guerrero before he got signed and, all that shit, and Juice Thunder Liger and Brian, the Juice Thunder Liger, Brian Pillman matches were good crossover matches, legendary, it's cool. So just please tell us who the fuck these people are and what they've done,
So, I think we've hit all the points we want to hit today.
Yeah.
So here's what we want you guys to do. Obviously, subscribe, and I'm gonna let Grant tell you what to do first.
Oh, come back.
And then we're gonna have another show next week, and I don't know what we're actually gonna talk about because every time we try to get to this old school wrestling topic, we never get to it, or something stupid happens, like I don't know, Jeff Hardy gets arrested again. So
right,
we're gonna eventually get there, because that's the fun. That's what actually roped us all into this thing. And I know for a lot of you, that's what roped you all into this thing. So we're going to get to some of those matches that, I mean, they're imprinted in my mind and I can never seem to get them out.
Yeah, I think we'll all have, like we were saying, one each to sort of bring to the table, and then we'll go over them. So we'll try and have really next week it's already we had some news heavy weeks, pay-per-view heavy events on the weekends. So there's been a lot of shit to go over. It's been a very interesting time for a lot of the various reasons, all the juicy stories out there. But yeah, I think next week and maybe even like the week after that, we're going to be looking at slow time until Forbidden Door happens, news-wise. Again, unless Jeff Hardy gets arrested, again.
Which is not out of the question.
I mean, that actually could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it literally just happened. It could happen again.
So we are the Fabulous Threebirds. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.